y'all. Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah. Let's recap and review Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This is season 12. I want to say this is like episode 6. I feel like it's episode 6. If it's not, then I don't know. But I'm going to tell y'all right now, Crystal and Diane about to get some of this. Because when I tell you they aggravated me so bad. Like, I mean, so bad this episode. So let's get into the review. I wanted to talk about this tea that popped up on the timeline that had people in a frenzy. So this was posted by Bravo_obsessed thing, and in the caption said things are looking more complicated for Sutton, allegedly. And it was basically a screen recording of a TikTok of this young lady named Elise Kim. And she had this to say. It was only 5 seconds, but most people were up in arms about her caption on the video. And this is what it says. Me, when I cut off my high school BFF of 5 years because her mom was racist to me, and now she is a real housewife getting called out for being racist. And her response is, my white daughter had a Chinese friend on TV. And then her caption was, I'm not Chinese, hashtag Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So you know they had all the fans in the fandom searching and trying to figure out, was this girl saying true? And there's definitely pictures dating back to when the 5 years would have been, like when they cut each other off. And there's pictures of Elise and Porter, who is Sutton's daughter, hanging out together on both of their pages. So it seems like what she's saying could be true. And I'm not going to negate the fact that maybe Sutton has done things that would be deemed racist or prejudiced or blatantly ignorant, especially as a Black woman who grew up in the suburbs of the South and who had white friends in high school, middle school, and elementary school. And even now, their parents are either blatantly ignorant, prejudiced, or downright racist, and we're just gonna call a thing. So I'm not gonna say what this young lady is saying isn't true, because I've experienced those things as well. But the issue that a lot of people are having with her, as well as Crystal, is y'all are not saying what she did. So it makes people feel that y'all lack credibility on what you're talking about. I would just like people to be more specific on when they bring up topics of racism, because we all know white people do not like being labeled racist. So they're going to fight it tooth and nail. And if you don't have proof, then why bring it up? Or why even mention it, more than anything? But to end this video on a more positive note, let's talk about Sutton being a part of the new Chucky series. So like I said, Sutton is going to be featured in the new Chucky series. And this screenshot I got from Jay's reality blog. Sutton posted this on her Instagram, and it says, I'm not quite sure how to thank @TheReal Dave Mackey for this opportunity, but thank you for allowing me into this amazing world and getting to work with one of my besties at Jennifer. I think it's Jenny for Italy. Y'all know I'm horrible with names. And sees her incredible talent. Hashtag Chucky series. Hashtag Chucky. So congrats to Miss Sutton. You know, even with all of this going on, she's still making moves. But let's get into the review, y'all. I hate the internet. Why did somebody post on their post on Twitter? They said, remember when the Incredibles 2 villain was literally Lisa Rinna? They are saying that Lisa Rinna looks like the Incredibles 2 villain. And when I tell you she do, and now I cannot see it. I was like, oh my gosh, she do look like that lady. That's why Lisa got to change. If Lisa would change up her hairstyles, we wouldn't be dealing with this. That's why everyone is so in love with the whole Barbie hair she got going on right now. But she really do look like this lady. It's foul. But on to the tea. So this is coming from Bravo_obsessed. And basically they took this screenshot from another blog site. And the other blog site is called Your Mom Is Watching. But the caption to this was, alleged from one of the rumored 14 friends, hashtag RHOBH. And the screenshot says, tea about Crystal from one of her 14 friends. And it says, it's true, Crystal was a part of a friend group with a bunch of us, 14, and we are all not friends anymore. So it might not just be Crystal. Before she went on the show, Crystal talked bad about the cast and Teddy, who got her on the show. One of our friends was supposed to go on the show, and Crystal said RHOBH was dumb and she would never do it. But then Crystal went on it herself. Also, one of us found out during last season that Crystal sent a fake DM to herself so she could post it. We all finally had enough of her backstabbing and fake drama, and everybody stopped being her friend. So I don't know, Crystal. It might be some tea. This might be true, sis. This might be true. But y'all know it's all alleged. It's all alleged. You know, rumors, if you ain't got no proof, it's a rumor with no regard. But let's get into it. So the episode opens up and we see everybody getting ready for the day's festivities. I thought it was weird that they was mentioning like glam, like the glam teams, and then we get to Crystal and she's talking about how she don't need glam and she's so cheap. And I'm kind of like, Crystal, you're not that cheap. I can see like you're frugal, but like, sis, you last season we saw a $95,000 Birkin sitting on your kitchen table. How cheap can you be? But honestly, to me, I think the ladies all look great, but I get why Crystal wouldn't get it. She's younger than them, but as well as Crystal is youthful. Like, she has a very like youthful face. Crystal is really pretty. So she gives very much like, all I gotta do is put on some lip gloss. Ooh, I am shiny. Put on some lip gloss. Get her eyebrows tweezed, like, you know, threaded or, you know, waxed, and then shake up her hair and she good to go, and people would think she walked off the runway. So we get it. We then see Erica and her glam squad. Now, y'all, I know some of y'all was on the internet upset about Erica's glam squad, but Erica's glam squad is no longer giving us a Crayola. It does not give Crayola. It does not give quality. It does not give bright, vibrant colors. It's giving rose art. It's giving very much, these colors run. It's very much, you touch it, it's going to stain your hand. It's giving that. So people being mad about sis having a glam squad, we know this is a complete glam squad on a budget. So y'all being upset didn't make sense to me. It perplexed me, you know, because I'm like, she not Crayola fit no more, y'all. She is not Crayola sexy anymore. She is very much rose art. We on a budget. You only gonna use these 2 times a day in class. Let it go for one day. Like, I didn't understand the uproar, you know. So we see everybody walking down to the beach. They're gonna have breakfast on the beach. All that food on the table looked delicious. Erica, I don't know what was Erica looked like she was on something, but we ended up finding out she's still on her antidepressants, and they were like, would we know if you weren't on antidepressants? And she was like, yeah, like I'd be more of like a bully or like something like that. And like Garcelle was like, you would be a bully. And she's like, you know what? I wear that as a badge of honor. She said, today in court, I was coined the term a bully. I saying that I was using the same tactics as my ex-husband, or no, her ex-husband, or soon to be ex-husband. And excuse me, in Erica's mind, she's like, if you don't stand up for yourself in court, you'll get walked all over. And that's very much true as it pertains to this case. I don't know if you want to be considered a bully. I mean, you could be a bully, but I'm just saying in reference to like your husband, I don't know if I want to be in reference to that man, but okay. So then Sutton brings up how she wanted to take the, I guess it's kind of like the GRE for like graduate school, or like the MCAT for like medical school. I think it's called the LSAT, and that's for law school. And Sutton says she wanted to take it. And Erica lets us in that she was like, I can be Sutton's tutor. And I'm like, Erica, do you want to be friends with Sutton? Do you want to be friends? I feel like you want to be friends with Sutton. But Erica was like, I could be your tutor. She said that Tom got a perfect score on the LSAT to the point where they let him grade papers. And I said, that means there's a lot of lawyers out there that shouldn't be lawyers, because that man probably got paid off to let them people through. Erica should have kept that to herself. But they were all cracking jokes about it. Then they asked Lisa about her mom, like how she feeling, and she was like, I'm having good days, I'm having bad days, but she said today it felt good to like wake up to the beach and the ocean. And she was like, I want to be open and honest about like my feelings, because I don't want people to think that I'm doing great and I'm not. And she was like, I also don't want people to like pity me. But she was just kind of like, it's touch and go. And that's to be considered like when you lose your mom. Very much so. So I thought it was a cute scene with Garcelle trying to take off Sutton's her like cover up so they could go get in the ocean, and she's like, come on little baby. It was just cute. I like their friendship. I thought Kyle's swimsuit was the cutest out of all of them, even better than Diana's Balenciaga pink thing. Like Kyle's was really cute. They were playing in the ocean. Like Kyle thought she said something went across her foot. I said, yeah, that's because the ocean is clear. What's it called? They were all just having fun, jumping back and forth. We then find out that, what's her name? That like some of the ladies are gonna do surf lessons, the other ones are gonna go shopping. Diana was getting on my nerves with this whole like bacon eating vegan. Sutton never said she was a vegan. She just said she stopped really eating meat. Like she doesn't really eat meat, but something about bacon. And my thing is like bacon is good on everything. Bacon is good on maple bacon donuts. Bacon is good on maple bacon pancakes and waffles. It's good as a side. It's good on burgers. It's good on sandwiches. It's good on salad. Where else? Where else is bacon good on? And dip. Bacon is just good. Like when the Lord made the pig, he already knew what was up. Okay? So I was just like, okay, Diana, like, we get it. A bacon eating vegan, like, we get it. She never said she was vegan or vegetarian. She just said, I like to eat bacon, but like I sometimes, like, Sutton just basically said, I don't really eat that much meat, but it's something about bacon. It's something about bacon. So I was like, okay. So they separate, and Lisa Rinna, Diana, Crystal, and Erica decide to do surf lessons. And then Garcelle, what's her name? Yeah, Garcelle, Dorit, Kyle, and Sutton decide to go shopping. So I thought it was cool that the store that they went to had a bar in the front of it. We find out that Kyle and Mauricio were supposed to have like a spot there in Mexico, but like the neighbors found an alligator in the pool. I call BS. I just feel like y'all ain't had the money for no spot in Mexico. Because we've been hearing things about Mauricio and that business. So the other ladies are going shopping. Garcelle lets the ladies know about her having a beach house. I thought it was sweet how Dorit was like, oh my gosh, and like hugged her. And I kind of didn't like how Garcelle was trying to like minimize herself. Like she was like, it's gonna be small. But I was like, it's still like everyone was like, it's still a big deal. Like you worked hard and like now you're able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So, and I mean, look at me trying to like critique Garcelle when I do the same thing she does with myself. But it's still like still a big feat to like demolish a home and build your own home. People don't have the funds to do that right now, but you do because you budget correctly and you worked hard for it and you're able to do it. So be proud of yourself. So the ladies are going shopping. Sutton ends up spending like $5,000 on some crystal ring. So this is where I got angry. I got annoyed and I got angry. So let's get in. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into talk about Kyle, Sutton, Dorit, and Garcelle, and then I'm gonna talk about the other ladies. So after they're all done shopping, I think I mentioned that the store had a bar in front of it. So they end up getting drinks and sitting down in like this little like nook area in front of the store. And they're sitting down, they're drinking and they're talking. And Kyle asks Sutton like, how are you doing after what happened last night? And Kyle basically said like she was like, Sutton, I think you're afraid of Crystal because I think you're afraid of her. And Sutton's like, I'm not afraid of her. And I'm also not afraid of Erica. So then Kyle's like, well, the difference between Erica and Crystal is Erica is very direct. Like, very direct. And with Crystal, she's manipulative. I feel like she's playing a dangerous game, but she's being very manipulative. So then Garcelle and Dorit chime in and they're like, yeah, like we were kind of thrown off about the whole 14 friends. Like that was like your trump card. And Sutton is like, no. Sutton's like, yeah, I understand, but I've heard that from multiple people that like she is not, like she does these types of things where she causes drama and causes chaos and tries to align herself with the person she thinks is the best in the group. And in all honesty, y'all, she has done that since season one, like not season one, since her first season. Because she got at Sutton for saying, I don't see color. But then in the next episode, or actually in the same episode, Kathy said the same thing. I don't see color. And what did Crystal do? She sat there and ate her food and smiled. She didn't call Kathy Hilton that girl, but you gotta say it for Sutton, and that's because Crystal doesn't see value in Sutton, but she definitely sees value in Kathy Hilton because she's a Hilton. She's Paris Hilton's mom. Like, she's a Hilton. So it's like, okay, we peep you, Crystal. We see it. And the thing about Crystal is, like, what she is doing is manipulative, and it is dangerous. Just like that little girl that posted that thing on TikTok. Like, you can't throw out that somebody is racist and then not say what they did or give context to what they've done to you. That does not mean that the person isn't racist or that they did not do something that was racist, but to just throw it out there and not give evidence, it makes you look like the bad person. Because it's like, you know, those types of words can be detrimental to someone's reputation, and for you to just throw it out there with no proof, people start to look at you, and then in turn you start to ruin your own reputation, because then people start to be like, oh, you know, she's the girl that cried wolf or the boy that cried wolf. Like, they just be throwing shit out there just to see if it sticks, and if it don't stick, then they go mute and they don't bring it up again. And that's very much what Crystal is doing, because Crystal thought everybody was going to be on her side like they were last season, because now Crystal acting like she got amnesia, that like everybody was not on her side, but everybody was definitely on her side when it came to the whole Sutton and the violation situation. The only thing the ladies didn't like about it was the word violate, because Crystal didn't explain the context of it, because everybody in their mind was like, oh my God, like violate, like she touched her inappropriately, or like she took pictures. Like, that is what people's mind go to. And that's not to say that Crystal didn't have the right to use the word violate or violation, but put context into it. Because when Crystal explained that story last season, all she said was Sutton walked in, the girl was naked, she dropped down and covered her body. Sutton made like a cheeky comment and walked out. But Crystal would not explain that to people like that. So I'm just like, it does make Crystal look manipulative and dangerous. And I was glad that Sutton said, I'm not afraid of Crystal and I'm not afraid of Erica, but I do want to be friends with Crystal because I do really like her, because we were working on building a friendship, but now we're on ground zero. Like, I don't want to play these games with her unless she's going to be willing to know, like, don't ever play with me like this. So then we're going to switch over to the ladies on the beach. So like I said, it's Diana, Lisa, Erica, and Crystal. And this right here is what pissed me off. Like legitimately pissed me off, because they're sitting there after they had fun doing the whole surfing thing. They're sitting down underneath the umbrella, and Erica immediately is like, so Crystal, what about last night? Like, how you feeling? And Crystal's whole thing is like, I just don't want no more confrontation. She immediately starts acting like she's like a 6-year-old child. So then Erica's like, but you need to talk to Sutton because she called you a liar. And I don't play them games. So then they did the flashbacks of when Teddy called Erica a liar and Erica got in Teddy's ass. And then they did the whole thing with, what's it called? When Erica and Sutton got into it. And that's when we get that infamous, or what? Nothing. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. You ever call me a liar again? I'll come for you. We got that infamous scene at Kathy Hilton's house. So they're like, you need to talk to her. And Erica's whole thing is like, well, if you don't speak up for yourself, you're basically going to let her like bulldoze you, or she's going to walk all over you. And I'm like, Erica, shut up. So then Diana chimes in and she's like, yeah, like I felt so bad for you. Like I just wanted to hug you. And I'm like, bunch of and what was pissing me off is like, I'm like, for Crystal to be this person that's like, I know big words, you know, I know these words can be confusing for you. You couldn't see through Erica and Lisa putting a battery in your back to get yourself played at the end of this scene, and for Sutton to check you because you needed to be checked. But you're aligning yourself with people that legitimately don't like you, nor did they care about you crying, because we get a scene later on in the episode where Kyle asked them about like why she was crying, and they're both too drunk to remember. Like they really don't remember. They just know she cried the whole time. So that lets me know y'all weren't even listening, because even when I've been intoxicated, I still remember what's going on. Or before you still remember what happens before you get drunk, and y'all weren't drunk sitting on that beach chair. So I'm like, y'all really didn't care about what she was saying. So then Crystal starts crying, wiping her eyes, and I'm like, F this lady's tears. I was so angry. I was so angry because I was like, these antics right here is why people feel like Crystal is dangerous, because you're the one who started this. Yes, Garcelle asked you the question. Yes, Garcelle kicked it off where she was like, you know, if I'm gonna be honest, I really felt like you set up Sutton, and you set her up. Like, you set her up. I feel like anything she would have said, you were always going to say she was that girl. So then Crystal's like, oh, so you're kind of questioning my character. Like, do you feel that way now that you've gotten to know me? And Garcelle said, I don't know. And because Crystal didn't like the fact that Garcelle said, I don't know, that's when she just said, oh, well, you know, what she said was a lot darker than what was let on. And I'm like, okay, Crystal, what is it? And the fact that you won't say what it is lets me know that you know if you say what it is, you're going to look stupid. You're going to look stupid, and everybody's going to be like, so you lying. Because me personally, I'm looking at Crystal funny because Crystal wants to like hold on to like the minority thing like she did on last episode when they talked about the whole pool scene about the kids being in a jacuzzi, and then she directly asked Garcelle, as a black woman, like she was just kind of like, so you don't like that wasn't dark? And I'm like, okay, so if that's the story, or if you knew that Sutton said something that you felt was dark, why would you not go to the other minority on the cast and tell her what it was? But and the fact that you haven't told her lets me know, one, either you align with what she said, or two, it wasn't that dark and you're full of it. You are full of it. Even with that little girl coming out, because she's doing the same thing Crystal did. You come out, you're saying that this lady is racist, but then when people press you about what happened to you, that's not to say it did not happen. Like I said in my video, that is not to say that didn't happen, because as a black woman who grew up in the suburbs of the South with white friends, I know those things can happen. But for you not to be able to vocalize them, and for you to just throw it out there, and then the little girl got scared and blacked out her social media and put everything on private, that to me screams cowardice. It screams weak-minded and cowardice, and that you just wanted your 10 minutes of fame, and then you got scared when the block got too hot. So you should have never said nothing if you didn't have the balls enough to say it. Same thing with Crystal. Them tears pissed me off because you're crying, because you're mad that people do not see this. The story did not go the way you wanted it. And like my friend says, and I always use it, your tears do not move me. Because you are crying because you thought everybody was going to have your back, and you were not ready for everyone at that table to get in your ass. And now that you can't handle it, all of a sudden you're crying and you're saying, am I an easy target? And and like Sutton is relentless. When all last season, everybody was on your side. Fans were on your side. People legitimately were coming at Sutton's neck. And yes, there were some racist fans that were coming at Crystal for no reason other than the fact that she was Asian and she was beefing with a white lady. But for the majority of the fans that weren't racist and very much in like coherent and, you know, have a good and decent moral compass, they were coming at Sutton's neck because they felt like Sutton crossed the boundary. And even the ladies were coming at Sutton. So for Crystal to sit here and act like everyone was beating her down when Crystal literally made Sutton cry to the point where we have that infamous scene, "Your ugly leather pants." And Crystal was happy about what she did. You got in that lady's face and called her awkward and clumsy, and you felt good about calling her that, and now all of a sudden, because the tables have turned and now you are looked at as the one that's clumsy and awkward and low-key dangerous, now it's the issue? Bruh, get out of here. And the fact that you're aligning yourself with Erica and Lisa and can't see the fact that they are using you to get at Sutton, girl, bye. Girl, bye. Bye, y'all. So it's the end of the day. They're all getting ready to go have dinner with each other. We see Lisa and Erica in a room together, like getting ready, in Erica's room, getting ready for the night. And Kyle's like, what's up with y'all? Like, y'all ain't want to come to my room? You know, y'all clicked up. Like, what about me? So this is why I know Lisa and Erica were full of it, because when they tell Kyle, like, you know, Crystal cried the whole time we were on the beach, and Kyle was like, what about? Like, they were like, you know, we really don't know. I'm like, so y'all were rubbing this lady's back, y'all were cheering, to like trying to encourage her and trying to be there for her, just for y'all to sit in the room and be like, we don't know, and laugh about it. I was like, girl, bye. So everyone's down, like, you know, to dinner. I didn't understand what the hell Erica had on, because it looked like she was going to a track meet. I was like, sis, why do you have on a windbreaker? Because that's what it looked like. And then, like, low-key, I think it was just a t-shirt, but it gave very much windbreaker. I was like, this is supposed to be a nice, like, you know, everybody's supposed to be casually dressed. Why do you have on this shirt? Like, you're not doing it for me, ma'am. Like I told you, it's a Rose Art budget. It's a Rose Art budget. That's why I'm not hating when she says she spent her money on glam, because we know that is Bravo's money and not them victims' money. So they're all sitting at the table. They all start questioning Miss Diana, because Diana gonna get it too, about that Room 23 book. And so Diana, when I tell you, Diana straight up like tried to negate that conversation. She was like, oh, we already talked about it. We already talked about it. And so I got a little more tea about that. So someone, because I've never heard of the book, I never read the book, but this is what a person on Reddit said. And I guess this is to give a better understanding. So basically it says basically Diana Jenkins was the really connected wife to a wealthy, I think it's Bear Clay's bank manager. She connected young Hollywood starlets such as Hayden Panettiere, Amanda Bynes, to wealthy Arabs, business and sports stars. She pimped out the vulnerable Peyton Tierra, who had been abused in childhood, to sick men for profit. She wrote the book Room 23, which was for her charity, a book of pictures of starlets in lingerie in Room 23 of an LA apartment in 2008. It was really a book of call girls for potential suitors. Very dark. So that's what they said the book. That's all alleged. That's all alleged, because I've never read the book, but a lot of people online were saying that's what the book was for. Like, the book was basically like a coffee table, like, call girl sheet. Like, guys would see girls in there. We even find out that Lisa Rinna did a picture in there, and that's when I'm looking at Lisa like, did she do something to you, girl? But basically, you open up the book, and like the men or women or whoever was able to pick a girl, and then they would call Diana, and so allegedly that's how they would link them up. That's all alleged, because like I said, I've never read the book, but I have been seeing a lot of people say like that's what the book is about, really. So it makes sense why she was like, I don't want to talk about it. So then they even asked her in the what's it called, in her green screen, where she looking like a Mary Kay lady, and the producer says, so you're not like an international sex trafficker and a madam of high class prostitutes? Is that what you're trying to tell me? And Diana was like, you know, it's rumors. It's just rumors. Like, one person will say something and they will just run with it. I was like, yes, girl, rumors can gain legs, but they don't gain legs to this extent unless there is proof behind them, sis. So I said, that's why I said Diana better tread lightly, because after she had that whole bout with that black content creator on IG, people really don't like her now. They already didn't like her before once people started to dig in her past, but they damn sure don't like her now. So They're all sitting at the table. We have like an energy cleansing, which everybody was like, that's not going to do nothing, which it really didn't. So then they start to get onto the conversation about what happened on the beach. So they asked like, okay, so how was, the beach and shit? Like, how was the beach, girl? And they were like, oh, we talked about you a lot, Sutton, as it pertains to Crystal. And Sutton was like, why couldn't y'all talk about your legal situation? Why are you talking about me? Why? I said, come on, Sutton. So then Sutton, they start talking about the whole situation. And I don't think because I feel like I'm going to go all over the place, but I don't want to go all over the place. But basically, Erica was getting on my nerves, and I was glad Garcelle told Erica, you are bugging me. And like Garcelle said, Erica was the topic of conversation all last season, and now this season, she just wants to be in everybody's mix so they don't talk about her. But she was getting on my nerves, sitting at that table trying to be Crystal's mouthpiece when Crystal had all that mouth a couple of episodes ago. Speak up, Crystal. So then Crystal, Sutton is like, I called her a liar, but I'll apologize for that. But I'm not apologizing for the way I felt. Like, you've done this twice where you question my character. And then Crystal's like, so you can question mine? Yes, I can if you gonna question mine first, lady. So then Erica is like, well, you called her a liar. And Sutton is like, Andy, I said, come on, Sutton. So then Sutton is just kind of like, then they bring up the whole 14 friends because Erica's like, it perked my ears. So I just wanted to know, like, what about these 14 friends? And Sutton is like, I've heard things. And Crystal's like, you've heard these, you don't know it to be true. And Sutton is like, I know it to be true and I heard things, but then Sutton rebuffed and said, I heard things. But I really feel Sutton is like, I know it to be true because you're doing it to me. That's what she should have said, but she didn't say that. But she also said, Lisa has heard it too. And Lisa said, yeah, I heard it too. So I'm like, Crystal, everybody has heard things about you, sis. So you can't, so she not just making stuff up. And then Crystal gonna be in her green screen talking about, like, I doubt Sutton knows the 14 people I used to be friends with. I was like, I doubt she don't. Because it seems like the Hollywood circle where y'all at is very small and tight-knit. So the people know people. So then, one thing I will say, I was so proud of Sutton when Sutton said, if you want to be friends with me, like, I'm going to need you to say you will never do this again. And Crystal was like, I can. And she was like, no, Sutton said, say it. And I said, that is what I mean when I tell people, be direct. It's because it's like, Crystal has done this twice in Sutton's eyes, because you did the violation thing. Although I agreed with Crystal in that part, even though I thought violation was a bit much, but I understand she felt her boundaries were crossed. But then you have this situation. So for Sutton, it's like, you've done this twice and you're trying me. So say it in front of everybody so we know you. If you do it again, that you a liar. You a liar. You's a liar. So I was happy Kyle basically said Lisa and Erica just don't like Sutton, because why can't y'all see what Crystal is doing? Just say you don't like Sutton. And I said, say that, Kyle. Say it. So then all of a sudden, Diana, blockheaded ass, want to chime in and be like, well, the whole, because Crystal said, well, you told me last night you hated me, but you loved me. And Sutton was like, I didn't say that. And I was like, Sutton, you did say that. But I got what Sutton meant. Sutton was basically like, girl, I hate you, but I do love you. Like, I'm getting sick of you, but I still got feelings for you. I still care for you. So then Diana was like, I heard you say that. So then Sutton was like, Sutton got pissed. Because Sutton put that finger and she was like, let me finish. She's like, I am a good person. And Diana was like, well, you don't have to say you're a good person. And Sutton said, well, I'm going to say it. I'm a good person. I said, ooh, Sutton is getting heated. She is getting heated, yo. She's getting heated. So Sutton was like, I'm a good person. And then Diana's talking about, well, I'm just trying to help. I'm like, you're not trying to help. Diana's like, why would she attack somebody that's trying to help her? It's very much crazy. I'm like, Diana, first of all, you're not trying to help her. You already let her know on like episode 3 or 4 that you did not like her. You told that lady she was clumsy with her words when she should have said your mama clumsy if I was her. But I'm just kind of like, you don't like her. So you're only chiming in because you're on the team of Erica and Lisa Rinna and Crystal. But you don't like Sutton. So cut the cap, girl. Cut the cap. So Sutton just gets really worked up because she's like trying not to like cry and go there. So she gets up. Kyle follows her, and then you see Lisa Rinna and Erica like look at each other and do that evil smirk. And I said, oh, y'all are trifling. Y'all are trifling. So then all of a sudden Diana want to start crying with her. But I was trying to help. Shut up. Shut up. What are you crying for? Why? Because you got yelled at? Okay. I don't like that lady. I don't like that $2 Mary Kay having, you know, may be a madam, may not be a madam. Ugh. Licking her lips all the time. Ugh. I don't like that lady. I don't like her because you were being nasty towards Sutton when you said she's very clumsy with her words. She did it, and now that she coming at your neck, you want to cry like a white lady with these Karen antics. Girl, go on. I cannot do her. I can't. So then Sutton sits down, like after she collected herself, because she was like, I'm trying not to break. I am trying not to break. And she was like, because I'm tired. And she was like, I'm tired and I'm trying not to break, but they pushing me to it. So then Sutton is like, you know what? I'm good, I guess, because I think Sutton was about to stop filming for the night, and Kyle kind of got her not to, like, playing producer, and was like, calm down, like, be the way you were last night. So then Diana, Dorit, and Crystal get up, because Crystal's like, you were really trying to help. And Sutton apologizes to both Crystal and Diana, but she was like, I do want to be friends with you, but I got to build my trust with you. And she apologized to Diana. And so Diana gets up. And this is where I knew Erica and Lisa were full of it, because Kyle got in Erica and Lisa's ass, because she said, she was like, those 14 friends, I've heard this story too. And she said, I didn't believe it, but after all of this, I believe it now. Because Erica's like, do you believe it? She said, yes. You don't see the way she moving? And then Garcelle says, what Crystal does is Crystal lets everybody beat up on her, and then she cowers with her body language so you feel sorry for her, when it's like all the while she been out here starting fires. And after that, Lisa and Erica didn't say nothing else. And I was like, oh, see, that's why I know Crystal's stupid. Because for them to be like your friends, or they have your back and they care about you, they dropped it once the Supreme got in their ass. So I can't wait. I can't with Crystal. I can't with Diana. Let them go and give me 2 other ladies. Just give me 2 other ladies. I can't. And they piss me off. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic, and drop down in them comments below. Bye.